And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with two special guests, Dougal Fraser, Radley Valentine, and your calls. And we'll let you chat with both of them when we go to the calls. Dougal, say hi to Radley.
Hey, Radley.
Hey, Dougal. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
This is fantastic stuff. Dougal, what is the aura color of a baby?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. So traditionally, I would see that soft sort of white energy that I talked about earlier as being the life force. Sometimes I would say around like a year is when you start seeing like personality develop. But in the beginning, it's that soft white color.
What determines the aura color?
What determines the aura color is personality traits. It's likes and interests. It's what you're good at that you have or things that you have to overcome. It really speaks to sort of what we're here for. I believe that coming to the planet and having the ability to incarnate is about learning things about ourselves and the experience.
Interesting take on that. And Radley, since you've been doing this since you were a little baby yourself, have you ever had a scary experience?
Ooh.
With an angel? No. Never.
You never got the fallen angel, I guess, right?
I don't believe in fallen angels. I just don't. It's a concept that makes no sense to me. To have fallen angels sort of implies that God can't control his messengers. That they and it also implies that angels have egos, which is also outside the characteristics that they display. They are divine, beloved servants of the source, and the things that ancient texts would say that a fallen angel would be interested in earth are simply not things that they're interested in.
And Dougal, how do people fine-tune their intuition to see their own auras or energy?
The easiest thing, and it's the most boring answer, but it's meditation. Finding some sort of daily practice. You can use crystals, you can use an oracle card, you can use meditation, yoga, but any way to still the mind. The mind is like a toddler, right, at a restaurant who can't wait for their meal to show up. So we need to still the mind so that we can perceive energy differently.
Super. We're going to go to calls, and each person limit your own answers to about a minute per person, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's start with Dave in Lima, Ohio. Welcome to the program. First-time caller. Hi, David.
Good morning, George.
Good to have you with us. Go ahead, and we'll start with Dougal.
Hey, Dave, can you say your name 3 times for me?
My name is David Dennison. David Dennison. David Dennison.
Well, Dave, the first color that I see around you is gold. But what's interesting about the gold is it turns on and it turns off, and it turns on and it turns off. So gold is about independence. It's the color of thought. It's someone that turns their vision into reality. Traditionally, when you see gold around someone, they are self-employed. It does not feel like you're self-employed now, but it does feel like that was a goal or an idea for you. When a color turns on and off, it means we haven't fully embraced it. The part of you that comes up with really great ideas also then comes up with 10 reasons as to why it may not work. So it's like, I love that you're practical, but sometimes I think your practical nature gets in the way of you sort of stepping into your power. Independence, doing things on your own, making your mark on the planet is really important to you. So if you have considered being self-employed, almost like an inventor, Dave, like there's things you want to create. It's like your brain wants to make something on the planet. If you're hesitating doing that, my advice to you is to step in it. Trust yourself a little bit more. Don't doubt yourself. You're wildly smart, and I think you can do it.
All right. How about that, David? And David, now you have a chance to talk to Radley about an angelic question you might have.
Okay, well, in a nutshell, I'll keep this real quick. I'm 61 years old, and I just retired at the age of 60, so I'm in my retirement about 1 year. I've lost my wife to cancer. Both my parents have passed just recently, and I was just wanting to know if you have any advice or see anything for me.
Take it away, Radley.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry that you're experiencing that kind of sadness in your life right now. In fact, I pulled a card from you, and it is Archangel Zadkiel, and it is reversed. And it talks about that sense of loss and that sense of oh my gosh, maybe I don't have quite the direction that I want. There's an archangel whose name is Azrael, and Azrael is one of the most graceful of all the archangels, and the archangel that allows for us to recover from sorrow and trauma in our lives and help us to also be able to receive signs from the people that we've lost who are on the other side. They do absolutely keep a close watch on us at any given particular moment, and they are reaching out to us at all times to tell us that they are there, that they are well, and that you are loved. And so I would suggest that you spend some time with that concept of allowing the angels to bring you signs that will help you throughout this time. Then Zadkiel is a great archangel to help you with the elements of forgiveness and also the elements of just feeling reinvigorated in what your purpose in life is going to be from this age and going forward.
Super.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
David, enjoy your retirement, and we're here for you whenever you need us, okay?
Thank you so much, George. Have a good night, guys.
You too. You too. Well said, you too, by the way. Next up, let's go to Candy in Clarkston, Michigan. Welcome to the program. Hi, Candy. How are you?
Oh, I feel so blessed to be on it. You're right. This is a wonderful early Christmas present.
It really is. You get the chance to talk to both of them. Let's start this one with Radley. Ask him an angelic question.
Okay, I felt that angels have been around me all my life, team players, and I talk to them when people think I'm a little nuts. But I'm wondering, I swear, but I'm wondering how could I want to tell them thank you for always being there because they've always gotten my back, and how would I address them properly, or if there's any names they could give me about addressing them properly.
Oh, honey, there is no syntax. There is no formality. There is nothing that you need to do. Everything you just wanted to do, you just did for yourself. Angels are always present. And, in fact, I pulled a card for you, and it is a joyful card. It is certainly one of Dougal's favorite cards, and it is the card called Jophiel that comes in vibrant pink. And this is a card about great compassion, self-care, and love of others, seeing the world in a positive sense. And you radiate that pink. You radiate that connection with Jophiel. Your guardian angels are so proud of you. They are in front of me right now. They are doing high fives in the sky. That you had the courage to call at this particular moment and to reach out and be able to make a message to people to say, talking to angels is not cray-cray. It is actually a way of connecting with Source and the divine, and you are doing a great job. You have nothing to worry about. Your gratitude is noted and felt.
And Candy, mention your first name 3 times for Dougal. Go ahead.
Oh, she doesn't even have to do that. I already heard Candy's voice. Sorry to interrupt you, George.
Okay.
Candy, the minute I heard your voice, I saw purple. So many streams of purple. It kind of looked like rays of purple coming out from your energy field. So purple's the color of leadership and destiny. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. The fact that you have rays of energy coming out from you typically means that you support more than just one person. Energetically, you listen to people. You hold space for them. If someone calls you at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to answer the phone because you want to be there for them. Interesting to me that Radley pulled Jophiel for you. We do want to remember, Candy, that you can't pour from an empty cup. As much as you caretake other people, you can be a little bit of a people pleaser. So I want to make sure that you pull back sometime and make sure that you're recharging yourself. I love that you want to empower people. I love that you want them to feel good. All of those are great, great qualities. But we do need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. When you are not taking care of yourself, Candy, your joints are going to talk to you. Your knees, your hips. I wouldn't call it like major pain, but there will be a little bit of a flare-up, and that's typically the body saying, I need to slow down, I need to take care of myself, and then get back in the game.
My God, you are so correct. It's scary. 1,000% correct. Thank you so much for making this a great new year coming in.
Thank you, Candy. Appreciate it. Next up, we're going on our international line to Josh in Manitoba, Canada. Josh, we're going to let you talk first with Dougal, so mention your name 3 times. Go ahead.
Joshua David, Joshua David, Joshua David. I just would like to say how wonderful, what a wonderful gift this is, and to thank you, George, and to thank your guests for doing this. It's wonderful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, Dougal.
Joshua, you're so sweet. So, Joshua, similar to George, you also have blue, but it's a very, very light blue. First question I have to ask you, Joshua, is part of your job like being alone? Do you spend most of your day alone?
I do. You're right on there.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Joshua, is you're totally okay with that. You're very comfortable with yourself. Most human beings get a little bit uncomfortable when they're alone. You are totally, totally comfortable with that. Most of the blue energy is above your head. One of the things the universe is asking you to do is express yourself a little bit more. You're an incredible observer. You'd make a great photographer, even a journalist, writing about experiences, reviewing things. The way that you observe the world is really, really interesting, but sometimes you keep it in your head. Like you have all of these profound thoughts. You can even be around people and you forget to express it. So I love that you love being alone. I love that you're comfortable with yourself. You like your own thoughts. You like all that stuff and introspection. But I would like you to share it a little bit more. Blogging, some kind of creative expression. Maybe it is photography, I'm not sure. But there's something about the way you view the world that's quite unique that feels like it could be shared with more people. So my advice is step out of your comfort zone. Might make you a little bit nervous. It's actually probably a big deal that you even called tonight, but try to express yourself a little bit more because people want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, that's great to know because that's 110% right on, and a lot of times I don't speak what I'm thinking, and maybe I should.
Super. Josh, and ask Radley a question about your angels.
Well, this is interesting. I always, do self-affirmations and thank my angels and my spirit guides and so on. And a very spiritual person, not religious, but I've been finding I've gone through quite a few hardships lately, one after the other. And right as this was really happening, the last couple, and I saw it through somehow, and I was finding feathers, even right before these things would happen or as they were happening. And I'm just wondering what significance all of a sudden that's playing in my life. Feathers, different kinds of feathers.
Absolutely. Feathers are a very distinct symbolism that the angels use to provide us information. A lot of that information is to help us to feel comforted, to help us to feel the sense of, hey, I'm not alone, I'm not doing this by myself. When we see these signs that show up over and over and over again, what it's doing is it's getting the ego of the mind out of the way. At some point, the mind starts to go, okay, this is no longer a coincidence, must be some sort of synchronicity. For us to be able to see that helps us to connect with our angels. It doesn't surprise me at all. I was really happy and joyful to hear that your name was Joshua. Joshua happens to be my primary guardian angel's name, and so I'm very attached to that name, and I love to hear from people. I pulled a card for you, and it is actually Archangel Raziel in rainbow colors. And Raziel is this archangel that really wants us to basically let our freak flag fly. I always have to say that carefully. But it wants us to show our unique, true colors. It wants us to be the weirdest part of ourselves that we can be, because that's the part of us that is special, that is unique, that is amazing. And Raziel really brings that. He brings enlightenment, he brings wisdom, but he also brings the ability to shine our light in a beautiful way. Really does circle back to what Dougal was talking about you getting out there and letting people hear from Joshua and to know about the wisdom that you have to impart for the world.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that for both you and George. I appreciate you always because you bring these wonderful people on.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Hard to believe the holidays are right around the corner, you two, huh?
I know.
It's
I feel like I just took the tree down.
It's coming. Back up it goes.
Back up it goes.
Let's get Betty in North Carolina. Welcome to the program. Hi, Betty.
Thank you.
Go ahead with your
taking my call.
Go ahead with your angel question first for Radley.
Okay. What I'm trying to figure out is what's my purpose in life, or what the angels want to tell me? Because I have trouble. I guess my ego gets in the way for trying to communicate.
You know what? You can't make this stuff up. It's something that I always say. And the card that I pulled for you is Michael Blue. And this is Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the archangel of safety and purpose and wisdom and truth. But one of the things that he is known for is helping us to connect with our life purpose. And so with Archangel Michael in the room, we have the opportunity to make this connection. So what I am getting from Archangel Michael in this moment, that part of what is important for you is to make a significant impacting the world with your creativity. It's important that people get to see that side of yourself that maybe other people don't get to see. Maybe you have this creative side and you're not using it, you're not putting it forth because you have this little voice inside of you that's very human that says, I'm not good enough, this isn't really beautiful enough, it's not pretty enough, it's not fabulous enough for anybody to notice. But the truth of the matter is that we all have a unique voice. We all have something special to give. The world is a gigantic puzzle piece, and if all the pieces are not there, the picture isn't complete. The world needs to hear about what your unique puzzle piece is. So wherever your creativity shows up in the world, it's time to show it to everybody.
Perfect. And Dougal, you've heard her voice. Go ahead.
Yeah, Betty, so I was seeing red and orange really nicely mixed together. I want you to think of it kind of like a sunset. So these are two colors of the healer. You genuinely want to help people. You seem happiest when you were helping people in some way. Keeping in mind that a healer could be anything from a doctor, physician, acupuncturist, massage therapist, but the idea is that we're helping people connect with themselves. One thing I'm curious, though, Betty, is have you been experiencing dizziness at all?
No, I had like a headache and my neck ache or something. That's about it.
Yeah, so there's like what I would describe as like fogginess in the head. I feel like I'm not seeing things clearly. You may even notice when you stand up from a chair that you feel a little dizzy. Part of that, in my opinion, is that you don't feel passionate about the day right now. When you're passionate about the day, those clouds will sort of part. You'll feel more balanced. You'll feel more connected. In reference to your question of what should I do, what's my purpose, your purpose is to help people. And this is where free will comes in. You can choose whatever you want. As long as you are helping and connecting with people in that way, your soul, your consciousness will be the happiest.
Yeah, that's true. All that.
All right.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you very
Betty.
much.
Good luck to you. Enjoy yourself and keep on doing what you do. Bradley, what are the secret messages that the angels want people to know?
I don't think that they mean for them to be secret at all. I think that for those of us who want that relationship, it's just a matter of fostering it. You know, we talk about concert pianists, and maybe not everybody can be a concert pianist, but we can all play chopsticks if we just give it a try. And the angels are just waiting for us to even put forth just the simplest of effort into it. But those messages are going to basically always be the same. They're never going to be berating. They're never going to be ego-based. They're never going to be unkind. They're always going to be loving, and it's always going to be something about finding joy in life, finding the path that will create happiness for you.
We're going to come back with final calls with Dougal Fraser and Radley Valentine in just a moment on Coast to Coast. Their websites are all linked up at coasttocoastam.com, and we're talking about their latest work, the Angels and Auras Oracle Cards, and we'll tell you again when we come back where you can get them. And welcome back to our final segment. George Norrie with you, Dougal Fraser with us, and Radley Valentine. Radley, where do we get the Angels and Auras Oracle deck?
Hey, you can find it at any major bookseller anywhere. You can also find all kinds of information about it, as well as a bunch of free gifts at aaoracle.com.
Excellent. Let's go to the phones. Darlene's with us in Escondido, California. Darlene, mention your name 3 times for Dougal, and off he goes.
Darlene, Darlene, Darlene.
Hey, Darlene. So the first color that I see around you is red, which we talked about earlier, but this time I'm seeing a deep red, kind of like a brick red. And forgive me for saying this, but your heart feels kind of heavy. So red is about the energy exchange we have with the people that we care about in our life. It teaches us how much energy is going out and how much energy is coming in. At the moment, Darlene, you are definitely giving out more energy than you are receiving. One of the things you're going to be working on in the next couple of weeks is putting your foot down with some people and saying, no, I can't do this, and no, I can't do this. Now, some people are going to support you, and they're going to say, Darlene, we've been wanting you to do this. I love it. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Not everybody's going to like it. In my opinion, the people that don't support you for having boundaries aren't really there for your highest good anyway. So it does feel like you're going to be weeding some people out of your life. When you concentrate on the equal exchange of energy, the relationships that are really serving you, I think your heart is going to feel better. I wouldn't call it depression. It's not that big of a word, but I just feel like Once again, too much energy going out, not enough support coming for you, and it's time for you to be honest about what you need.
All right, how about that, Darlene? And go ahead if you have an angel question for Radley.
I'd like to know, can you tell me, how do I know the angels are around me?
Yeah, the way you can know the angels are around you is there's several different kinds of signs that they use on a regular basis. They use feathers, they use pennies on the ground, they use the number 444. You might see images of angel wings. Doves represent angels, white butterflies. All of these are symbols that are traditionally known for being angels. You might also have a sudden sense of a feeling of love, of warmth, of protection. You're never going to have a sense of fear or worry or anything like that with angels that are around you. I did pull a card for you, and from that category that I love to talk about, Alex, I'd like to talk about you can't make this stuff up for 500. We've got Archangel Uriel in red. Uriel can show up in gold or red, and the card is inverted. And much like Dougal was talking about, this card talks about senses of feeling wounded or unfulfilled. Uriel is this archangel that helps us to emotionally heal. And in that moment, that emotional healing brings us the opportunity for life transformation. But seriously, my dear, all you need to do is ask your angels to make their presence known and then stay awake. We as human beings, we like to fall asleep. We'll ask the angels for signs in the morning and not pay a single bit of attention all day long. You have to stay awake, you have to notice, and you have to be in a space of allowing it to happen.
All right, good luck, Darlene. Will our angels always be there for us, Radley?
Yeah, they're always. I mean, it's literally the lifeline from heaven. It's the lifeline from source. It's the thing that we can always count on. Yes, we can always count on the divine, but there's also this presence that is with us on a vibrational level that is closer to the human existence. And they will never let you go. They are never not there. They will never forsake you. Unconditional love is a part of the divine, and they are part of the divine, and they are with us always.
Let's go to Eric, truck driving in Mississippi. You're all over the map, Eric.
Yes, I am.
And let's start with your angelic question for Radley.
What's the name of my angel, and if he can tell me who was I in my past life?
Yeah, so I don't do past life work, but I will tell you an archangel that can help you with that. But the names that I'm coming up for you for angels, and for me in my work, guardian angels generally don't work alone. There's not just one. You've got one named George, which is a nice solid name of the earth that gives you that sort of sense of that solidness in life, that sense of balance. But you've also got one curiously named Francesca. And Francesca is about having a sense of beauty in your life, having a sense of comfort, having a sense of peace. So you have these two archangels. Also, Archangel Raziel is an archangel that helps people with past lives. Now, while I don't do this kind of work, I am still getting this connection to the 1940s. I think it would have been sort of like the end of your life in the 1940s. Feels like not in the war. Maybe you were in the war before that, but more like in the 40s of being in your late, I'm going to say early 50s. This is not work I normally do, but it's just coming through the angels. So I'm telling you this. I think you were in music. I think maybe you were a crooner.
How about that? Eric and Dougal, you've heard his voice.
Yeah, Eric, so did you say you're a truck driver?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that the only thing that you do? Because you have a really bright yellow around you, and yellow people tend to have more than one career. They're skilled at two different things. It's considered the color of higher intellect, and if they do one thing, they get a little bit bored. So do you have like a side hustle or another job you do as well?
I don't, not at this time, but I'm open to that.
Yeah, it's like if you do one thing, you will go crazy. The other thing that I'm really curious about, Eric, is there's some connection here to your dad. I don't know if your dad like wanted you to do something specific and there was like frustration with there, but your dad's energy keeps coming up over and over and over again, which I think is kind of interesting. I wouldn't necessarily call it like the easiest relationship. There seems to be a little bit of butting of heads. I think ultimately you're kind of similar in some ways, but truck driving may pay the bills right now, but it doesn't feel like the most passionate job. You need to do something that like moves energy. That's interesting that Radley brought up music because you do feel like a creative person. But you need to do something that like moves your soul, makes you feel better. So it wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to be more bold than that. I would say in 2024, you have two jobs. There's something else that presents itself that ultimately becomes full-time. Why did your dad keep coming up? Did you guys just have a disagreement or something?
No, but we've always button heads, though.
Yeah. It's interesting. He has a tendency to project his stuff onto you, which is like irritating. Like he genuinely loves you and genuinely cares about you. He is not a great communicator. And I just think sometimes like his anxiety and worry kind of projects onto you. So if you can be kind and rise above it, take the high road. There's a trucking reference for you. But take the high road and just realize that he means well. He's just not a great communicator.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. When you said you saw Yellow, Dougal, I was going to say maybe he's a cab driver. Yellow cab.
Well done, George.
Let's go to Donna in Petaluma, California. Donna, mention your name 3 times for Dougal.
Hi, my name is Donna. Donna.
Oh, wow, Donna. So you have two colors that, first of all, don't normally come together. You've got a really light green and then a really beautiful silver. So light green is enthusiasm. It's often seen around children giggling. It's like raising the vibration. You have a really infectious personality. People love to be around you. Then we've got this silver energy, which is like goddess energy. It's about space. It's about making things sacred. I don't know if you've ever studied feng shui or design or space or even thought about like the way things look and making them feel beautiful. There's something about when space feels beautiful, you're happy. When family's around, when people are connected. So I feel like there's an energy of like, I don't know if you're renovating a house or changing, but I want to make space feel pretty. I want the energy to move. I want things to change. There's big stuff coming up connected to your home that all feels like it's good, but it's about are you renovating your home? Am I crazy?
You're really spot on because I've moved and everything had been in storage for a while. I've experienced the wildfires several years ago here in Sonoma County, and so I had to move everything quickly, put my pets in a kennel 2 cities away, and I kind of bounced around a little bit, displaced, so I couldn't, like, move into my new place right away. So I moved in about, almost 2 years ago, and I still have boxes to unpack, but I'm also in the middle of, like, medical treatments and stuff to where I'm restricted in how much I can do. And I'm far away from whatever family I have left.
That's going to get better. Green is a symbol of health, and space is really important to you. So making it feel pretty, nesting, making it feel like home is really, really important now. But I promise your body's going to get stronger. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. I know how hard that is.
Thank you, Donna. And Donna, you have an angelic question for Radley.
I do. When I was younger, I felt my guardian angel very close to me. My guardian angel literally has saved my life several times, and I believe it's through my guardian angel that I have intuition, even from a young age, where I, saved my family's life, or the people's, because we were in, like, I felt danger coming up, and they were able to be ready for it. But since I got in a very bad car accident a few years back, and since then I've gone through major surgeries, and I just seem to be disconnected from I feel like my angels are not as close to me, or that I'm, like, not connecting with them. I'd like to know what I can do to get back in that state of kind of flow. My life was always flowing, and then it came to a screeching halt, and I kind of, estranged from a family member that there's a lot of miles in between us, like 700 miles, and it just seems we're not communicating, and I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if I should move closer or what where I should be.
Yeah. So I love all of that, except for the fact that you're suddenly feeling disconnected. They didn't go anywhere. I've got two guardian angels with you. One's name is Alexander, and the other one's name is Caroline. And they are absolutely with you. Sometimes illness and a sense of dis-ease in the body can make us have a feeling that we are no longer connected, but we are always connected. So we are basically asking for some archangels for your assistance. We're going to ask Archangels Haniel and Jeremiel, who are both archangels that are known for increasing our spiritual gifts to be able to allow us to be able to connect with our archangels again. And so we're asking those archangels to be with you and to help pierce that veil that might have happened through the fog of dis-ease. Also, there's an archangel whose name is Raguel, R-A-G-U-E-L, and Raguel is the friend of God. And one of the things that Raguel does is bring harmony to relationships that are in discord. And so you can ask Raguel for his assistance in making things smooth over, bringing harmony back into this relationship that is causing you grief and sadness. I do just want to also really quickly say, I did pull a card for you that is, and this card is called Self-Respect and Worthiness. And so I want you to make sure that you are staying in a place of seeing your value as a human being and your specialness, even if that means writing words on Post-it notes that say things like, I'm worthy, I'm fabulous, I'm beautiful, I'm magical, and maybe even one that says, I am connected to the angels with ease in every single day, and put those all over your house.
There you go, Donna. Thank you. Hope that helps you a lot. Dougal, do aura colors change for an individual?
Absolutely. They change all the time based on opinion, the environment, the topic that's being talked about, our mood, our energy level, how we're eating, our wellness. They change all the time. The music that we're listening to, the art that we consume, it is constantly changing.
I mean, like instantly?
Yeah, instantly. If I bring up a topic you don't like, an aura will contract. If I bring up a topic you love, people will literally start to glow. And we say these words all the time, right? If someone's pregnant, we'll say, God, you're glowing. Or if someone's newly in love, we'll say, look, you're shining. You can feel it. That's people feeling it first, but you can see it at the same time.
It's amazing. And Radley, in terms of the angels, are they always with us?
They are always with us. They will never, ever, ever leave your side. And they want more than anything in the universe to communicate with you. It's what they're here for. They have guidance for us. They literally, the one thing that we can always say about God and Source is that it is pushing us towards happiness, towards joy. Sometimes that means going through the darkness, but it is this light that is on the other side that angels are always pushing us towards.
Angels and Auras, the Oracle book, and the set of cards. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you, George.
My pleasure.
Great people. And now don't forget, folks, to turn your clocks back 1 hour when you go to bed Saturday night into Sunday morning. Takes effect Sunday morning at 2 a.m., so your cell phone should switch automatically, but you're going to have to do your manual work on your cars and everything else. So make sure you take care of that. For Dan Galante, Gina Salvati, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladiseur, Stephanie Smith, Chris Burrows, Tim Banal, George Knapp, and Ian Punnett, I'm George Norrie, somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.